write a rule for the nth term of the arithmetic sequence. So they told us it's arithmetic, which means we know what it's going to look like. Here's our rule for every arithmetic sequence. In order to write the rule, two things we need to know, this a sub 1 and that common difference. If I look at what they gave us the 11th term and they gave us the 5th term. So this is the most work, when we don't have the two things that we need. Now I'm going to do 2 videos on how to do this, just because I showed you 2 ways in class. This one is going to be using the systems of equations, where we ended up using elimination, and it's just kind of using not old, but prior knowledge on how to do this. You guys already know how to solve your systems, so that's why this could be a nice way for you to do this problem. So we just need to plug this information into the formula. Remember, the small 11 is the n value. So a sub 1 plus, we know this is going to be 11 minus 1 times d, and what does it equal? That 43. So 43 equals a sub 1 plus 10d. There's our first one. Now we're going to do the same thing with our second term they gave us. And remember, this 5 goes in for the n, so 5 minus 1 times d, and the 19 is what goes out there. So when we simplify this, we're going to have 19 equals a sub 1 plus 4d. So we have 2 equations with 2 variables that we need to solve for, and this is why this becomes a system of equations. If I bring these together, it's lined up quite nicely for elimination, where if we add the equations together, we want the a sub 1s to eliminate or the d's to eliminate. And what I notice is a sub 1s are pretty close. If we just take this top one, let's say, and multiply by a negative 1, then they will eliminate when we do this. So the new equation, we multiply everything up there by the negative 1, so we have negative 43 equals negative a sub 1 minus 10d. And then we don't need to change the bottom one, so I'm just going to bring this one over here instead of rewriting. And now we go ahead and add our equations together. Negative 43 plus 19, so negative 24, equals negative a sub 1 plus a sub 1. This cancels. We wanted that to eliminate on us. And then negative 10d plus 4d is a negative 6d. So we can solve for d by dividing both sides by negative 6. So our common difference is going to be a positive 4. So we have half of what we need, which is really nice. So now let's just go ahead and plug that in to get the a sub 1 value. And again, we can go back to any of these equations. I keep moving this one around. Now that we know our d value, let's go ahead and plug it in right there and solve for a sub 1. So I'm going to plug in a 4. So 19 equals a sub 1 plus 16, and then we're finding that our first term is a positive 3. Now we have the 2 things we need. It's been a lot of work so far, I know, but it's work you guys have seen before, which is nice. And we just plug it into the equation. So a sub n equals, our first term is 3 plus n minus 1, and then our common difference is 4. And then to clean it up, we just do some distributing. So 3 plus 4n minus 4, which is 4n minus 1. And finally, here we have our rule for this arithmetic sequence.